MultiCam is a high-precision camouflage pattern designed for use in a wide range of conditions. Variants of it, some unlicensed, are in use with armed forces. The pattern is also sold for civilian usage. History. First introduced in 2002, MultiCam was designed for the use of the U.S. Army in varied environments, seasons, elevations, and light conditions. It is a 7-color, multi-environment camouflage pattern developed by Cry Precision in conjunction with the United States Army Soldier Systems Center. The pattern was included in the U.S. Army's move to replace the 3-color desert and woodland patterns, but in 2004 lost to the universal camouflage pattern that came to be used in the Army combat uniform. However, it was recommissioned by the U.S. Army in 2010, replacing UCP for units deploying to the war in Afghanistan, under the designation Operation Enduring Freedom Camouflage Pattern. It had already been used by some American Special Operations units and civilian law enforcement agencies. MultiCam is available for commercial sale to civilians. A version of MultiCam has been adopted by the Armed Forces of the United Kingdom as the multi-terrain pattern, replacing the previous DPM camouflage. MTP retains the color palette of MultiCam but incorporates shapes similar to the previous DPM scheme. After using the MultiCam scheme in Afghanistan, Australia has also adopted its own version, like the UK forces, combining the colors of MultiCam with some of the shapes from its earlier DPCU or SCAM pattern. On the 25th of November 2013, Cry Precision unveiled a family of MultiCam variants. The variants are designed for arid, tropic and snow-covered environments, plus a black variant for use by law enforcement tactical teams. Appearance. MultiCam has background colors of a brown to light tan gradient and lime green blending in between. The main part consists of green to yellowish green gradient and finally dark brown and light pinkish blotches spread throughout the pattern. This allows for the overall appearance to change from greenish to brownish in different areas of the fabric, while having smaller blotches to break up the bigger background areas. A non-licensed copy of the original pattern is slightly darker with pinker yellow tone and printed on different fabric. Another non-licensed copy, called Suez pattern, similar to original MultiCam, is used by Polish Special Forces GROM, BOA and BOR. The MultiCam color scheme in hex triplet is as follows: Not Black 3B2F23, Coyote Brown 81613E, Dead Veg A4B167, Lightish Tannish D62B4, Cucumber Slumber 4E693B, and Light Khaki FOE68C. Australia. On the 19th of November 2010, after trials by Australian Special Operations Forces, the Australian Defence Force announced that MultiCam will be standard for all regular Australian Army personnel in Afghanistan. MultiCam, it is said, provided troops with greater levels of concealment across the range of terrains in Afghanistan, urban, desert and green. Previously, depending upon the terrain, Australian troops had to transition between green and desert-coloured Australian disruptive pattern camouflage uniforms. On the 30th of May 2011, the Defence Material Organisation announced that they had obtained license to produce MultiCam in Australia for $4.7 million, and Cry would also design a new uniquely Australian pattern for another $3.1 million. The Australian Army decided to standardise MultiCam patterned uniforms starting in October 2014, called the Australian MultiCam Camouflage Uniform. The AMCU is manufactured domestically by Australian Defence Apparel and Pacific Brands Workwear Group and comes in two variations, Field and Combat, using a tested Australian multi-camouflage pattern that can operate in bush, desert, and jungle conditions. Previous disruptive patterned camouflage uniforms and Australian multi-cam pattern operational combat uniforms will be worn until all Army personnel have been issued with the AMCU. Chile. The Chilean Marine Corps, Chilean Naval Special Warfare Division, and the Chilean Air Force Commandos adopted MultiCam in 2009. MultiCam is the standard issue uniform of the Chilean Marine Corps. Georgia. A domestic variant of MultiCam is in use with the Georgian Armed Forces as standard issue for all military branches as well as special units of the MIA. The pattern got adopted somewhere in 2010, replacing the DWC in MARP 80 and since has been produced in a slightly altered version that fits better to the local environment. Poland. A modified version of MultiCam has been adopted by the SAM of Polish Special Forces. It is named Suez. Russia. A version of MultiCam has been adopted by the Federal Security Service and by the internal troops of the MVD. United Kingdom. The colours of the MultiCam pattern were also in the development of the British Forces multi-terrain pattern used by UKSF in Afghanistan. British forces deployed in Afghanistan used multi-terrain pattern from March 2010. The colors used in CRI's multicam technology were determined to be the best performing across the widest range of environments when compared with the two existing DPM designs in use at the time and was subsequently selected as the basis for the new MTP camouflage, combined with the existing British disruptive pattern material base pattern. United States MultiCam is currently in use by some units of the U.S. Special Operations Command and some private military contractors. Several members of the U.S. Army's Charlie Company, 2D Battalion, 12th Infantry Regiment were also seen wearing MultiCam when followed by ABC News. The United States Air Force just recently announced that they will be adopting use of MultiCam for some of the uniforms. In early 2010, U.S. Army soldiers in Afghanistan equipped with the Universal Camouflage Pattern adopted MultiCam as the camouflage pattern. It has impressed soldiers in the field. U.S. Army officials had indicated that a variation of MultiCam will be phased in as the official U.S. Army uniform pattern in 2014. In May 2014, it was revealed that the Army had selected a pattern called Scorpion, similar to MultiCam, that would be replacing the Universal Camouflage pattern. The Scorpion pattern was developed by CRI Precision with the Army for the Objective Force Warrior program in 2002, and the maker made small adjustments for trademark purposes and called it MultiCam. Because Scorpion is similar to MultiCam, the same color Velcro buttons and zippers can be reused. Scorpion W2 resembles MultiCam with muted greens, light beige, and dark brown colors, but uses fewer beige and brown patches and no vertical twig and branch elements. On the 31st of July 2014, the Army formally announced that the Scorpion W2 pattern, officially named the Operational Camouflage Pattern, will begin being issued in uniforms in summer 2015. The name Operational Camouflage Pattern is to emphasize its use beyond Afghanistan to all combatant commands, with a family of versions including a dark jungle woodland variant and a lighter pattern for deserts. To save money, existing items such as the modular lightweight load-carrying equipment and improved outer tactical vest will be overdyed to create a darker color. closely matching IoT brown. Soldiers are allowed to wear uniforms and field equipment patterned in MultiCam until they can acquire OCP, which is allowed until MultiCam uniforms' wear date projected on the 1st of October 2018. Some local, state and federal law enforcement agencies also make use of the pattern, including the Drug Enforcement Administration's Foreign Deployed Advisory and Support Teams operating in Afghanistan, as well as the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Special Reaction Team and the Spokane, Washington Police Department. Uses Angola, used by parachute units of Special Operation Brigade of the Angolan Army. Argentina, all the Guarnición Militar Buenos Aires, Guarnición de Ejército City Belenamp, all Special Forces. In June, September will be the standard of the Argentinian Army. As of August 2015, the entirety of the Argentine Army has the uniform as standard issue. Brazil, used by Comando Operacos Táticas of the Policia Federal. Italy, all Special Forces. Egypt, all Special Forces. Australia, Special Operations Command and forces deployed to Afghanistan. Also used by police tactical groups. Canada, seen in use by Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. Chile, MultiCam is the standard issue uniform of the Marine Corps and the Navy Special Warfare Division. Also used by the Chilean Air Force Commandos. Czech Republic, 601st Special Forces Group since 2010. Austria, in use by Austrian Army Special Force Jagd Commando. Finland, seen in use with some members of the Special Jaegers of the UT Jaeger Regiment. France, seen in use with some members of the Commandement des Opérations Spéciales, the French Special Forces. Denmark, deployment uniform of the Danish military, in the process of replacing the M84 as the standard uniform. Georgia, standard uniform of the Georgian Armed Forces and of some police special forces. Germany, KSK, GSG-9. Hong Kong Police Special Duties Unit Diver, Hong Kong Police Counter-Terrorism Response Unit. Iraq, Emergency Response Battalion, which newly formed by the Ministry of Interior. Jordan, Jordanian Army Special Operations Force Snipers. Lithuania, Lithuanian Special Operations Force. Maldives National Defense Force Special Forces. Montenegro, standard uniform of the Montenegro military. Netherlands, Corps Commando Tropen and the Netherlands Marine Corps used it on tour in Afghanistan. New Zealand, New Zealand's Special Air Service for use by the Special Operations Forces in Afghanistan and Iraq. Norway, a force of Arits Spesial Commando have been seen using MultiCam camouflage in Afghanistan. Pakistan, the Pakistan Armed Forces are in the process of transferring to MultiCam. Panama, the standard uniform of Panama National Aero-Naval Service (SENAN). Poland, Polish Jednostkowe Wojskowe Grom, Agency Bezpieczeństwa Wewnętrznego, Biuro Ochrony Rządu and Jednostkowe Komandosów units uses Suez, a little modified MultiCam pattern. Russia's FSB Alpha Group and Vimpel and the MVD's SOBI Group. South Korea, New DT, SEAL Operators. Spain, Spanish Grupo de Operaciones Especiales. Taiwan, Army Special Force Winter Training Center, Mount Ho-Wan. Thailand, seen in use by Royal Thai Armed Forces Headquarters as military police. Tunisia, seen used by USGN in Ratsud operation. Turkey, seen used by Sualti Tareras Commando personnel. Ukraine, Security Service of Ukraine and Alpha Team. United Kingdom, MultiCam, seen in use by United Kingdom Special Forces personnel. Multi-terrain pattern, on general issue to the Royal Navy, British Army and Royal Air Force. United States, MultiCam, U.S. Army, U.S. Navy EOD, Joint Special Operations Command, and U.S. Air Force. Scorpion W2, adopted by the U.S. Army for issue in 2015. Sweden, seen in use by the Särskilda Operationsgruppen.